Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaitanya Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Didi Nashtaprayam Yavadrehu Nityam Bhagavata Seva Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhagavati Nashtaki. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Srila Vrindavandas Thakur, Chapter 7, Shri Vishwarup takes sannyas, Adikhanda, Chapter 7, Text 35. मायेर आदेश प्रभु अद्वैत सभाए ऐसे न अग्रजेर लाबार चला. On the order of his mother, the Lord came to Advaita Acharya's house to call his elder brother home. So Shati Mata had prepared lunch and she sent Nimai to call Vishwarup home from Advaita Acharya's house. आसिया देखे न प्रभु वैष्णव मंडल अन्य अन्य करें कृष्ण कथन मंगल. When the Lord arrived there, he saw all the Vaishnavas engaged in discussing topics of Lord Krishna. आपन प्रस्ताव सुने श्री गौर सुंदर सबारे करेन शुभ दृष्टि मनोहर. Hearing his glorification, Sri Gaurasundar glanced mercifully. Of course, they were glorifying him only, but they didn't know that Nimai is Krishna. प्रति अंगे निरुपम लावण्य सीमा कोटि चंद्र नाहे एक नखेर उपमा. Each of the Lord's limbs surpassed the topmost limits of beauty. Even millions of moons could not be compared with one of his toenails. Can you imagine how Vrindavan Thakur is explaining? Even millions of moons could not be compared with one of his toenails. That's how beautiful the Lord is. And we look for beauty in this material world, which is just liquid beauty, moreover, and it just temporary, it goes away in few years. And look at the Lord. दिगंबर सर्व अंग धुलाए धुसार हासिया ग्रज प्रति करे न उतार. Standing naked with his body covered with dust, Vishwambara smiled and spoke to his elder brother. So he was standing naked. He wasn't wearing any clothes, Nimai. And covered with dust. And still his beauty is unmatchable. And he smiled and spoke to his elder brother. भोजने ऐसा भाई डाके जननी अग्रज वसन धरी चले अपन. My dear brother, please come to eat. Mother is calling you. Vishwambara then caught hold of his brother's dhoti and followed him home. देखी से मोहन रूपा सर्व भक्त गान स्थगित हय सबे करे निरीक्षण. On seeing the Lord's enchanting form, all the devotees were stunned and they continually stared at him. They forgot Krishna Katha, Kirtan, whatever was going on, and they just looked at, my, how beautiful he is. Samadhira प्राय हयाचे भक्त गाने कृष्णेर कथन कारुना ऐसे वदन. The devotees practically entered samadhi. They were even unable to speak about Krishna. प्रभु देखी भक्त मोह स्वभावे हाय विना अनुभावे दासे रचित नाय. Devotees are by nature overwhelmed on seeing their Lord. Indeed, even before the devotees realize his identity, the Lord stole away their hearts. That's how beautiful it is. All the pure living entities and conditioned living entities are by nature both devotees of the Lord. Consciousness of the former has been awakened so they can feel the love of the eternal, worshipable Sachidanand Lord Vishnu, while the latter are under the control of Maya and cannot do so. When the conditioned state is overcome, or when all anarthas are destroyed, a living entity under the shelter of service to Lord Vishnu can remain pure even while residing in this material world. So this is the beauty of the Lord. I mean, devotees, when they look at, they appreciate, they practically go into samadhi, admiring, adoring the beauty of the Lord. And when the non-devotees look at, I mean, even look at the deities, they, those who are not devotees, they just look at it completely different. Ah, what is this? You guys are wasting your time, wasting your money, on just dressing the dolls, and he is not Lord, and this and that. Forget about the beauty. They can't even appreciate the beauty. But the devotees, when they look at the deity of the Lord, they just forget everything. That's that is real samadhi actually. Forget all the miseries, all the problems they have in the material world, in the life. They just they just get absorbed. And what to speak of when Nimai himself is there, and all the devotees will look there. And same Nimai, if the atheists look at him, or later on when he started his Sankirtan, then they would get angry at them. You're not letting us sleep, making so much of noise. Similarly, when Krishna was performing his pastimes, mm, just imagine gopis and gopsakhas when they look at Krishna, and when Kalia looked at Krishna, same Krishna, but different consciousness of people looking at him. Kalia wanted to kill him. Yeah. Kalia also wanted to embrace him, to kill him actually, uh, to crush him. And gopis also wanted to embrace him, but just to give pleasure to Krishna. This is the difference. So when the conditioned state is overcome, or when all anarthas are destroyed, a living entity under the shelter of service to Lord Vishnu can remain pure, even while residing in the material world. At that time, he is called a Mahabhagavat. The Madhyam Bhagavat is a pure servant of the Mahabhagavat. Unless the conditioned Bhagavat reaches the stage of Madhyam Bhagavat, he remains a servant of Madhyam Bhagavat, even though he is serving a Mahabhagavat. Different technical thing. But the point is, slowly, we have to make progress to go from Kanishta Adhikari to Madhyam to Uttam Adhikari. The Mahabhagats had no engagement other than the service of Lord Hari and his devotees. Being attached to objects not related to Krishna, ordinary conditioned souls engage in the service of the external world due to their impure intelligence. When such persons advance to the level of Kanishadika, they dovetail the fruits of their activities with the Lord and thus cultivate mixed devotional service. So starts with the mixed devotion, whether Karma Mishra, Gyan Mishra, some addition is there. In the eternal nature of the living entities, there is an eternal propensity called Hari Bhakti. As a foolish, conditioned soul is attracted to material objects, a pure living entity situated in devotional service, his constitution propensity is similarly attracted to the Lord. In the opinion of some unfortunate persons, even devotional service, the eternal propensity of the living entities, is a mundane, perverted, abominable, illusory propensity. So these are unfortunate persons. They don't understand what is the real truth. Those who argue out the foolish persons who are expert in material consideration cannot realize a pure form of devotion service, which is eternally full of knowledge and bliss, and which is the goal of the liberated, self-satisfied, swan-like personalities. Rather, they accept devotion service, which is eternally perfect transcendental propensity of the living entities as a mental concoction. So this is the difference in mentality, difference in consciousness. Due to this misconception, ordinary people consider the eternal attraction of Shukdev Goswami, the crest jewel of learned scholars, for Krishna as material illusion or moha. First, they don't even think Krishna is the Supreme Lord and he has such a beautiful body, Satchidananda Vigraha, and his so sweet and beautiful pastimes with his devotees. cannot even understand. And then devotees like Shukdev Goswami's attraction towards the Lord. How can they understand this? Keeping in mind the transcendental happiness derived from serving the Lord, the author at this juncture uses the word moha, illusion, for the understanding of ordinary people. It is natural for the eternal servants of Krishna to serve Krishna with love and ecstasy. In other words, a living entity in its constitutional position eternally worships Krishna as its natural propensity. The conditioned soul with the mood of for enjoyment cannot realize Krishna's love in this material world. But Krishna, who attracts the self-satisfied souls, unknowingly attracts the hearts of his servants who have renounced material enjoyment, whose consciousness is awakened, and who are knowers of the absolute. This is what is meant by Krishna attracting his servants who are under the shelter of Shantaras. The servants who are under the shelter of Shantaras like the cows, sticks, horn, flutes of Braj, although not situated in Dasharas, unknowingly serve Krishna while externally appearing less intelligent. So even the Shantaras devotees, we are nowhere even close to even Shantaras devotees. Cows, sticks, horns, flute, they're all conscious. Uh, the trees, they're all conscious and they're serving Krishna. And look at the flute of Krishna. Even the gopis are envious of the flute of Krishna. This is how everybody likes to serve Krishna. प्रभु से अपन भक्तेर चित्त हारे यही कथा बुझीते अन्य जानी ना हे पारे. Materialistic persons are unable to understand how the Lord steals the hearts of his devotees. ये रहस्य विदित कैलिन भागवते परीक्षित सुनि लेना शुकदेव हाय प्रसंगे सुनह भागवतेर आख्यान शुक परीक्षितेर संवादानुपम. Yet this mystery was disclosed by Shukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit in the Srimad Bhagavata. Please hear now the matchless discussion between Shukdev and Parikshit from Srimad Bhagavatam in this connection. How the devotees lose their heart, or how the Lord steals the hearts of his devotees. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, it is stated, King Parikshit said to Brahman, how could the cowherd women have developed for Krishna as someone else's son such unprecedented pure love? Love they never felt, even for their own children. Please explain this. So this was a Brahm Vimohan Leela when Brahmaji had stolen away cows and calves and cowherd boys. And Krishna expanded himself into all these cowherd boys and calves and matching their exact nature, exact features, and going to all their homes as those boys and those cows. And the gopis, the motherly gopis, they just had so much of love for their sons, which they never felt for their own children. Because ultimately, this was Krishna himself who had appeared as a son. Shukdev Goswami replied in verse 50 to 57 as follows. Shri Shukdev Goswami said, O king, for every created being, the dearmost thing is certainly his own self. The dearness of everything else, children, wealth, and so on, is due only to the dearness of the self. For this reason, for best of kings, the embodied soul is self-centered. He is more attached to his own body and self than to his so-called possessions like children, wealth, and home. So, actual dearness is for my own self, the person's own self. And that's why he loves everything related to that self. For best of kings, those things whose importance lies only in their relation to the body are never as dear as the body itself. If a person comes to the stage of considering the body mine instead of me, he will certainly not consider the body as dear as his own self. After all, even as the body is growing old and useless, one's desire to continue living remains strong. Therefore, it is his own self, and that is most dear to every embodied living being. And it is simply for the satisfaction of this self that the whole material creation of moving and non-moving entities exists. So, because this body and conditioned living entity think I am this body, not that this body is mine. I am this body, and this is the most dear to me. Everything I do is actually to give pleasure to this body, to these senses, and to the mind. A person gets into relationship with opposite sex. Why? Because it gives pleasure to me. He serves his parents or wife, or children, takes care of them because it gives pleasure to me. If it doesn't give pleasure to me, then why would I do it? Of course, as a matter of duty, it does, but duty is also, it gives satisfaction to the mind. You should know Krishna to be the original soul of all living entities. For the benefit of the whole universe, he has, out of his causeless mercy, appeared as an ordinary human being. He has done this by the strength of his internal potency. Those in this world who understand Lord Krishna as he is see all things, whether stationary or moving, as manifest forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such enlightened persons recognize no reality apart from the Supreme Lord Krishna. The original unmanifested form of material nature is the source of all material things, and the source of even that subtle material nature is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. What then could one ascertain to be separate from him? So, everything, even this self, it is dear to me, as Prabhupada has explained some of the place, because it is related to Krishna. And that is why Krishna is most dear, because without Krishna, nothing can exist. Although we don't know, those who are not in Bhakti path, they don't know. But ultimately, it's because everything comes from Krishna and everybody loves Krishna. So we have our consciousness is covered, it is impure, and that's why we love everything related to the body, whether it is my family and then community and then the city and the country, it's all related to the body. But the real relationship is with Krishna, and that's what we have forgotten. It's not like if somebody loves Krishna, it's not like he won't love everybody, but he will love everything and everybody in the true sense. That everybody is related to Krishna. Everything is related to Krishna. Everything comes from Krishna. Everything is should be used in the service of Krishna. এই গৌরচন্দ্র যাবে জন্মিলা গোকুলে শিশু সঙ্গে গৃহে গৃহে ক্রীড়াকারী দুল. When Sri Gaurachandra appeared as Krishna in Gokul, he played in all the houses there with the other children. Sri Gaurachandra personally appeared in Gokul as Sri Krishna Chandra. The atheist community says that Sri Krishna appeared 4,712 years prior to the advent of Sri Gaura. And since Krishna came before Gaura and Gaura came after Krishna, there's certainly a difference between them. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, however, has herein forbidden the pure devotees from considering material time, place, and circumstances in relation with the absolute truth. So these things don't matter. Just like people sometimes criticize. Once it happened in one of our trips. We were doing in the train, we were doing kirtan, and one boy came. He said, "Oh, he wants to do kirtan." We didn't know him. I said, "Okay, you want to do kirtan? Fine." And he started Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. He said, "Ram came before Krishna, so why do you stand name of Krishna before Ram?" I said, "You get out of it. Get your own mic, and you can chant whatever you want." Here. It is a Gaur Chandra appeared as Krishna Chandra. There is no such thing as time, place, circumstances in relationship with the appearance of the Lord. And they go in cycle. Okay. In this cycle, Lord Ram appeared in Treta Yuga, Krishna appeared in Dwapar Yuga, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Kali Yuga. Fine. But now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Kali Yuga, next cycle, Ram will appear in Treta Yuga. So, next, okay, so in case the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared before Ram, who says the cycle is a starting point? And that's just for the pastimes. Eternally, they are all existing in the spiritual world. There is no one after the other. He said they come here to perform their pastimes whenever the need is. And then, okay, then we say Lord Nrsimhadev appeared before Ram. He appeared in Satyuga. He says they're coming according to the need of the time and they want to perform the pastime. That's all. There is no one or second. But those who don't understand, they they create their own comments. जन्म हईते प्रभु रे सकल गोपी गण निज पुत्र अतयो स्नेह करे माने. From the time of the Lord's birth, the gopis had more affection for him than they had for their own sons. Sneha or affection is always meant for subordinates, although the servants of Krishna who constantly serve him in the mode of confidential friendship, parenthood, and conjugal love totally remain under his subordination. They proudly consider themselves superior to Krishna in order to solidify their affection. This pure affection is present more in Krishna's devotees than in Krishna himself. The supremacy of the worshipable Lord is greater than that of his servants. When Shri Krishna was unable to repay his debts for the loving service rendered by Srimati Radhika, he accepted the mood of Sri Radhika and displayed her mentality, obviously as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The pseudo sampradayas, such as Gaur and Nagaris, who engage in material enjoyment, nourish a mood of opposing Sri Gausundar's teaching of both pure devotional service and the glories of his servants' pure love. Pure devotees of Gaur Krishna do not accept this. So this is between pure devotees of Krishna and Krishna. There's always a competition to serve each other. Krishna took the form of chariot driver for his pure devotee Arjuna, form of chauffeur, very low position for Krishna, but he enjoyed it. Arjuna was giving him orders. Take my chariot there, take my chariot there. Drive slow, drive fast, go left, go right. And Krishna was happily accepting the orders. And similarly with his other devotees. Mother Yashoda minds him up. Krishna loves it. So this is Krishna's dealings with his devotees. Just complete love, nothing else. But those who don't understand it, they are really unfortunate. Okay, I guess we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Advaita Acharya was not staying in Shantipur, as I remember.
He had two houses, one in Shantipur, one in Navadvip.
Acha, one in Mayapur also. Okay.
Navadvip.
Okay.
It's not far from Yogpit.
Mhm. No, because the description comes that he went to bring Vishwarupa from the Advaita Acharya's house. I thought that
Yeah.
Shantipur is a little distance away, so he was going up. Acha, but he had a house in Navdeep also. Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
Prabhu. Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.